The movie starts in a police station where a lawyer explains to a man in custody, Malik, about his 6-year jail term and signs a legal aid paper. He hid his last $50 bill inside his shoe. Later, when they transfer him to prison, the officers stripped him naked and check each and every hole of his body, whether he's hiding anything. One officer finds his $50 bill, and they told him that he can't take this inside, and he can have this after his jail term. They check his details and assign him a cell. The following scenes show prison inmates working and later in the playground. An inmate approaches Malik and asks him if he has any phone or anything from outside, but he refuses and they beat him up. Later, a new Muslim prisoner, Rayeb, is brought in for trial, and an inmate, Caesar, the head of the Corsican inmates, is asked by his boss from the outside to bump him. One day while in the shower, Rayeb tells Malik that he likes him and asks him to have sex with him. Malik was shocked and went away. Later, Caesar's team finds Malik and offers him protection and asks him to keep an eye on the new Muslim guy, Rayeb, since they want to kill him and threaten to kill him too if he refuses. This worries Malik and he seeks the warden, but he finds they are connected to Caesar's men who threaten him that they run the place and he should do as they say. And they explain to him how to maneuver his way to Rayan and cut him. Malik kicks a guy in the workshop to get sent away from this cell, but Caesar finds him and warns him. They teach Malik how to carry out the blade in his mouth, and the following day he seduces Rayan and plans a sleepover with him. Rayan offers him some tea, and later, when he tries to get intimate with him, Malik takes out the blade from his mouth and cuts him dead. The following day, Caesar grants Malik his protection in the prison, but Malik is tensed. A year later shows tensions in the prison between the Arab Muslims and the Corsican mob. Malik joins Caesar's mob, but some don't approve him. He continues to learn in class how to read and write and also finds a Muslim friend, Riyad, which the Muslim team also disapproves. Malik does simple tasks for Caesar's mob like preparing meals. Later, Homeland Security announces pardoning of the Corsican prisoners, and Caesar watches from the news and a lawyer tells Caesar some of his friends are up for parole, but he still stays in. Riyad, too, explains to Malik how he gets released due to his cancer condition. Caesar's friends leave prison, leaving him behind, and he finds out Malik can now understand Corsican. Caesar hands him a cell phone and raises his status with a new task to serve as his new eyes and ears, and he is moved into a new cell which has a television. Malik gains access to the kitchen to serve inmates and joins Caesar's inner circle while also selling drugs with a new friend, Gypsy. Caesar gets worried and asks Malik to fill out a parole application where he will approve as priority to a lawyer so he could work for him on the outside too. Riyad later sends Malik a letter explaining his newfound life on the outside and later visits Malik in prison with his child. Malik also plans for his life post-prison, and Riyad finds him a new job at a garage for his future work too. Gypsy also tries to get Malik to work for him on the outside, since he is going outside, but he refuses. The jury later grants Malik a 12-hour leave and he meets with Riyad on the outside. Caesar sends him on a delivery job where he swaps money for a man and gets paid. Later he finds the stash belonging to Gypsy from prison and takes it to Riyad and asks him to sell it, and they plan how they will coordinate, and in the evening he returns to prison. He confirms his meetings with Caesar, and later continues with work at prison, and the guards also upgrade his living conditions. Caesar asks Malik to check out the Muslim team, but afraid of their numbers, he asks Caesar to send other hacks there to mess with them, and Caesar plans with the warden. Following this, the guards search through the Muslims, and a Muslim friend asks Malik to help the Muslim brothers, but Caesar later threatens him and asks to meet with a Muslim member while Malik closely observes them. Later, Malik learns that Latif, the Egyptian, and some men ambushed Riyad and kidnapped him along with the stash and are now asking for money. He consults Gypsy and later asks a friend for the information on Latif, the Egyptian. Malik and his inmates attack some inmates who know the Egyptian abductor and threaten him to tell Latif to release his friend. Caesar questions Malik about he and Gypsy's drug business and asks him to be more careful since he lives off his name. Later, Caesar sends him on another leave to Marseille to meet Brahim Latrache for negotiation. On the outside, Rayad picks up Malik as he promises to avenge against Latif for stopping their business. Malik then takes a flight to Marseille, where some guys pick him up and tie his hands before meeting Brahim. He explains to Brahim about Caesar's terms of pulling out with the Italians for a guarantee with another business. Brahim begins to question how an Arab works with the Corsicans and reminds him of Rayab, who never got out while threatening him, but they crush with a deer, and Malik later reveals how he himself dealt with Rayab. They stop to feast, and Brahim reveals there is a snitch among the Corsicans. Brahim accepts Caesar's offer under condition that they should find the snitch and clean the house, and Malik then asks him to help him settle terms with Latif the Egyptian. Later, Malik returns to Rayad and sets him to meet with Latif in order to make a partnership with them all. Rayad reveals he needs a chemo for his sickness, and Malik returns back to prison. Rayad later meets up with Latif, who hands him some money and gives off Malik's share to the mosque's imam as directed by Malik. The Muslims in the prison question Malik over the dirty money he gave to the imam, and he tells them he only wants a better relation between them, and they reluctantly agree. During Christmas, Caesar reveals to Malik that he found out the snitch is Jackie Markagi, Caesar's boss, and asks him to find people to whack him in Paris, and no one else must know. He also tells him that when he gets out, he will need him to run the casinos he's acquiring. Rayad later visits Malik and tells him to accept the deal, and Rayad asks him to take care of his family when he dies soon, and he goes for chemotherapy. Malik later takes another leave for the job and meets with Rayad, but they jump Caesar's other guy and head to the mission. They follow the target's vehicle, and when they stop, Malik steps out and guns down the men in the car, but they bring in Markagi with them alive. They reveal to Markagi that his pal Caesar sent them to kill him, but they leave him alive to take revenge on Caesar's man and leave. Malik says he will return to prison the following day, and Rayad refuses the chemo since it seems hopeless, and they take dinner with Rayad's family. Malik returns to prison the following day, and guards place him in solitary confinement for his lateness, where he stays for 40 days. Later, Rayad passes away from cancer, and Caesar's men get attacked in prison, leaving him. Caesar, now lonely, watches as Malik stands with the Muslims. He tries to approach Malik, but some inmates stopped him and beats him, so he returns. Malik gets released from prison. While he picks up his belongings, he sees the $50 bill which he tried to hide in his shoe 6 years ago, and that brings him a smile. On the next scene, Malik meets with his friends and Rayad's family on the outside, and they go together, bringing the thrilling film to an end. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.